Alright, so I saw a lot of videos about installing these Aquasana filters and people showing leaks, and as far as I could tell, they just weren't using Teflon tape. It'd be a shame to not use this filter, because as far as I can tell, it's one of the best ones out there for getting all the bad chemicals out of water. It'd be a shame to not use it just because some people have problems installing it. So there's no other parts in the box. It's all self-contained here. So we're going to go through the installation process. I'll show you how to install it properly. These are 1/2-inch threads on either end of these, as far as I can tell. It only says 1/2-inch threads in one place, but it doesn't specify NPT or straight threads or anything. But as far as I can tell, that's what those are. And so I'll get back to that in a second. So if we start off, they mentioned that you take the shower head off of your... Okay, they mentioned in the instruction book. In the instruction manual, all they say is when you take the shower head off, it'll be a 1/2-inch pipe. And so that's what they're talking about, these threads here. So you take this off. There might be Teflon tape on the pipe already. There might not. If it's old Teflon tape, then you want to get it off with a wire brush, and maybe I'll find one and recommend one for y'all to use. Get the old Teflon tape off. We're going to put the first thing we're going to do is put new Teflon tape on it. You always want to go 3 times around. This is slightly wider. I think this is 1/2-inch Teflon tape. I'll try to find a link for this as well, but I'll try to put that in a note. I have no idea. I'm just trying to make a video to help, so I don't even know if I'll be able to put links in it. But you want to go 3 times around with the Teflon tape. I am a mechanical engineer, so don't try this at home. Actually, I do want you to try this at home. And 3. Okay. I am a mechanical engineer, but I'm not a plumber, so I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing, but a plumber might have a better idea and more experience, but pretty sure that 3 times around with the Teflon tape is a good idea. Okay, one little modification that I'm going to make is I've got these fittings that I ordered, and they're 1/2-inch fittings. They're 1/2-inch NPT. I got a set of 4 because I'm installing this in multiple locations. 1/2-inch both sides, 1/2-inch NPT. So the receiving side and the connecting side, both 1/2-inch NPT. That's National Pipe threads, so that means they've got a little angle on them. So that's going to help with the connection. NPT is always better for making a good connection. You don't need these. I think the Teflon tape will solve most people's problems, but this will make it even better. So all you're going to do, and I'll show you why in a minute, that you would get 2 of these. I just showed you 4 because I have 2 different filters that I'm installing and 2 different showers. But for this one, I need 2 because of what I'm going to do. But you just take it, and I like to turn it the opposite way. Right hand rule here. So you want to turn it this way to get the thread to advance that way. But I'm going to turn it the opposite way just to... No, I'm not. I don't want to do that. Yeah, it got seated in there, but you really can't do that once you put the Teflon tape on. So there, it's going on, by hand pretty easily. And that actually would do the trick because it's an NPT thread inside of here. It's an internal NPT thread on the receiving side of this coupling, and it's got Teflon tape. So that would probably do the trick, but I'll get my handy dandy wrench just in case. Give it a little extra push. Go to 11. A little extra push. Alright, that'll probably do it. Okay, so now the beauty of this is that the filter here, and we've got the filter here, and definitely easy packaging there. Not a lot of extras to deal with. This fitting is made where it floats like this to make it easier to install, actually, and I think that's causing a problem with some people. But anytime you have a connection, it should have a rubber washer. You see it's got a rubber washer there. A rubber washer and Teflon tape will always do it for you. But by using, I believe, as far as I can tell, these are straight threads, 1/2-inch straight threads internally here in this receiving part. And you put an NPT thread in there, and that's going to allow it to get all the way down in there and seat against that seal. And I think that's one of the problems people are having. Not using Teflon tape and not getting the thread all the way seated in there. But it definitely is easy to do when you have an NPT thread. And I'll put some Teflon tape on that and then show how that works. Okay, so again, you want to go 3 times around. Do that deal. That's 1, 2. You just pull it off nice and pretty. Okay, now you want to attach the filter. Okay, it's going to go in there now and seat into that, against that rubber washer there. Got this Teflon tape here. It's going to be a thing of beauty. So, make sure and pull this thing back so it's all the way back so this thing can advance forward on the thread, and you can see it kind of moves around, and maybe jostle it around a little bit as you're advancing this to make sure it is moving all the way back and allowing this thread to advance into that threaded ring. And you feel as you tighten it, this thing gets more rigid because that tells you that this thread is seating into that ring. And that again, I believe that would do it, but why not tighten it a little bit? It might leak a little bit if I didn't put a wrench on it, but you want to be careful because these are plastic parts and they're strong plastic, but this is metal, and this is metal, so you don't want to do too tight and break the plastic. So you gotta be careful. You know, you gotta know your own strength. Yeah. So there you go. We got a good start there. Take this cap off. This is a 1/2 inch thread. I think it's a straight thread. Now you do not need to put this on here. This would attach just fine, but you see here, it's if you put this on here, you can have trouble angling it down. And they actually say on there that this filter, Aquasana says this filter doesn't work with shower heads bigger than 4 inches. I think it has something to do with the fact that then it won't be able to angle down or it'll hit up against that. But if you put this thing in here, it gives us a little more distance, and you can have a little more leeway to angle that down. And if you especially got young children, which is a great reason to have one of these filters anyway, then you'll want to be able to angle it down. So having this one. So anyway, that's why I ordered 2 of these for a single filter installation. So let me get the Teflon tape again. Again, 3 times around, start at the top, and I am going this way around the threads the same way that the device will thread onto this. This one's a little harder. You have to sort of scoot the tape underneath that spot there and hold it in place, and then switch over, guide it with fingers. See, I'm threading it under, and then I release it so I don't know, you don't have to, you probably don't have to be this fancy about it, but you know, if you just like sewing machine or something. But at this point, there you go, 3 times around. Because this is a plastic thread, I am tempted to rotate it reverse to make sure I've got a good seat when I'm putting a metal thread on a plastic thread. Feel that little click, and I know I've found the thread so I don't cross thread it. And then I'm being very gentle because I should at this point be able to be gentle, and that tells me that it's seated properly on the thread and I'm not cross threading it. Start out slow and easy. This one, probably really don't want to put too much of a wrench tightening on it because that's plastic. But I will just a little push there. Now, final piece of Teflon tape. See, love me some Teflon tape. I'll wrap that, thread it under there so it's right flat. Grabbing it with my thumb and holding it out as I thread it under that. 2, 3, right there, like a boss. Like my boss would want it, I guess. Okay, all right. Okay, we're gonna test it now. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to leave that head off and run out water for a few minutes. Let me take this one off. May need to put new Teflon tape on it. Okay, and then yeah, let me just run it out. The water comes out black at first because the filter has charcoal in there, and it's not a problem. Then it runs out clear, and it's beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to put the shower head. They say, Aquasana says to run it like that, so that black stuff that comes out, that first part that comes out of any charcoal-based filter, as far as I've ever been aware, that doesn't get stuck in the shower head. So now you've run that out, now you can put the shower head on. I don't know, I may find that I should have put new Teflon tape on this, but I'm going to try to do it, turning it backward to try to seat the thread. It feels really weird. Is that right? Click on there. That may need more Teflon tape. That'll be interesting to see. Okay, so there you have it. First try, no leaks. That's what you get when you do it right. So there you go. It's a shower head issue here, I think. Just an older shower head. So, yep, very good.